Hey everybody, it's Gypsy, and welcome to On the Edge of Appalachia. Look at these leaves just accumulating. Fall is definitely here in Northeast Ohio, a bit early. So anyways, I'm just right now going back to the gardens. I haven't been out here yet today, just to check on things, see if any critters got a little sassy and decided to come in and help themselves. Mostly it's the chickens, but they don't do that at night. Anyways, let's see. So happy to have my tar fixed on my this thing. I can't live without my garden cart. Anyways, I bought that when I lived in New Mexico. I think I bought it at the Lowe's in Los Lunas. Not sure, I can't remember, but I bought it there when I lived there. Brought it back up here with me, and I love it. Everything looks so different. Just from a couple weeks ago. The leaves on the trees, that tree really got bare. My gardens look different. It's weird. But anyways, today I'm not really doing a gardening video because I have to get these pepperoncini pickled. They must be done immediately. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So first, I think I'm going to go to the store, get myself some nice, fresh lids and rings so that I could take care of this. I don't want my pepperoncinis going bad before I take care. Oh, another little baby pumpkin. Isn't that cute? Oh, there's two. My gosh. The pumpkins just have been great this year. So when I grow something new that I've never grown before, look at the size of that blossom right there. You see that? I do just a little bit because if it doesn't work out for me, I don't want to have wasted my time and money, okay? And it's so strange because I've noticed some people grow one crop really, really well and another person cannot. I'm not sure why. I'm sure the soil and stuff like that has a lot to do with it. But I also think, because I'm really into the woo-woo stuff, the person's energy, working with that plant energy. So this is why, all right, some things like rosemary, I can't grow that for the life of me. But other people around here in my area, they grow it. I can't get it to grow. It grows and then it dies. I can't figure out what's going on, but anyways, that's why I just do a little bit. See how my soil and stuff works. Even though I amend my soil, it doesn't always work out. So last year I just planted a few, sugar pie pumpkins. And they did really, really well. So this year, as you know, I really, really increased my my crop with my sugar pie pumpkins. And I have discovered I love growing like pumpkins and gourds. So next year, I'm gonna have to probably create another bed for this. I am increasing my variety of pumpkins. Now, I started with sugar pie because I love to bake. And pumpkins really, really are great to do that with. Now, I believe I heard you can cook with filled pumpkins. Filled pumpkins are edible. But I prefer things like the sugar pie pumpkins, the smaller ones that are made for baking. One, because they are sweet, so they make great pies and stuff like that. Also, they have no strings in them. You know how when you carve a jack-o'-lantern, you get like that stringiness? The pumpkins like this that are made for cooking have no strings. They are very smooth and very easy to puree. So I like to use those. But next year, I am doing, I don't know, probably some filled pumpkins. And then, you know, those odd specialty pumpkins. I'm going to be doing those. So I'm really excited about that. I hope it works out. Bug just landed on my nose. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited about it. So I try to do a new thing every year. I also try to add at least one perennial to my gardens that is, you know, food. So this year I added grapes and I added rhubarb. So I have to think of something for next year. So anyways, I think I am going to go down, pick up my lids and rings, and we'll get started on pickling that pepperoncini. Okay, now to the pepperoncini portion of the video. So this is what I have at this moment. I did do a small batch, pickled them earlier. I know this doesn't look like much, but it actually is. And I cannot, you know, really wait to pickle them. I've already had to, you know, I picked through them and I found a few I needed to throw out. And I don't want to be wasteful, so I am going to do this batch. It's not going to be huge, but it is better than letting them go to waste. I did have one. Oh yeah, this one, it turned red. Pepperoncinis, they're a little tricky because you want them about 1/2, 2 inches, but also you don't want them to get to the point of turning red. I keep one. When I was young, it was popular for Italians to wear pepper around their neck. Not a real pepper, but, you know, we had jewelry. You know, they were either silver or gold. Good luck, Malok, keep the Malok off. So back in the 70s, and I think early 80s, it was really popular. I'm thinking, I wonder if I could, like, dip this in gold or something, preserve it in some way. Anyways, I'm being silly now. But anyway, so I washed these again. I think I did when I first brought them in the house, but I'm doing it again. So I went and got my lids and rings. I'm going to wash my jars and everything, and I am going to sterilize, and I will get right back with you. Okay, so I went and I picked up my canning lids and my rings. So the first step I'm going to show you is making brine. I am going to do a small batch. Now I am going to can these. Now normally when I can something like pickled pepperoncini, I will do like what we call hot process. So what I would do is, you know, have a hot brine, hot jars, and my canner's already at boiling, okay? And, you know, you put your pepperoncinis in your hot jar along with the other stuff, and then you put your hot brine and you get it into the canner. Now, because my kitchen is very, very small, it's difficult to do that and film at the same time. So I'm going to do a cold. So I let my jars cool down after sterilization. I'm going to make my brine. I will let that cool down. And then when I go to can, what I'm going to do is I will set up my canner. Before I heat up the water, I'm going to put my packed jars into the canner, cold, in the cold water. And then I will turn on my burner to bring it up. I don't usually care to do it this way, but under these circumstances, it would be easier for me because of the lack of room, okay? But normally hot, 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 okay? And I'm not going to show you my canning process. I've shown it before, I believe, in another video. So we're just going to concentrate on making, getting them packed and making the brine. Okay, so on to the brine. Making a small batch. What I have in here is 2 cups of water and 2 cups of white vinegar. So I'm going to put this in my pot. And then what I'm going to do is I have my canning and pickling salt. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of that in here. And then I want 2 tablespoons of sugar. So I'm putting that in here. Okay, so now we're going to turn on our burner. We want to bring this up to a boil. Get your wooden spoon. And you stir this up. I'm going to stir it until it dissolves. And I believe when you bring it to a boil, I'm going to put it down to simmer. I know you let this boil for a few minutes. I'm thinking it's 10, but I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, so that's where we are now. I'm going to bring this to a boil. And then I'm going to let it simmer. Okay, I just looked up. You boil it for 1 minute. Now, if you are canning hot, 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 you want to keep it warm. After you're done boiling it for 1 minute, you turn it down, put it on low, keep it warm for the canning process. If you're going to do cold like I am, let it cool down. Again, I don't normally do it this way. It's just space is my issue. Okay, so I'm going to bring this to a boil and finish this up, and then we will get back to the next step. Okay, so we're going to finish up here. I went ahead and packed my jars. So you want to get your pepperoncini in here pretty tight, okay? And then what you want to do, you're going to add a whole clove of garlic, toss that in there, and a tablespoon of peppercorns. And then I am going to add 1/8 of a teaspoon of pickle crisp. I have never used this before. I did use it with my last 2 batches of pepperoncini, but I have not had a chance to taste them. So I don't know how well it works. I hear it works good. It's better for the price. It is expensive. I'm doing these pepperoncinis for my son. He is the only one I would ever spend this. Okay. Then you're going to pour it over. I think maybe just a tad more. So this is I think about a quarter. And mine is hard to read. Let's see. That is, what is it? Yep, that's a quarter. So you're doing a 1/4 inch. You're filling it. So put your rim on just fingertip tight. That's all. And I'm gonna go ahead and can these. Remember, I'm doing cold, cold, cold. Normally, I would suggest hot, 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 but because of space, okay. So I have heard different opinions on how long you should let these set after canning until you eat them. I've heard 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6, whatever. I usually like to go about a month, at least a month. So when you label these, make sure you put a date on them. So I'm going to go ahead and can these. I got 2 pints out of this batch. So I'm now up to, since the beginning of harvest, up to 6 pints. Okay, so there you have it. Pickled pepperoncini. Pepperoncini, pepperoncini. So, I'm going to leave you with that. Blessed be, and make it a joyful one.